Hello, hello.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. You keep logging me out of Zoom. Killing me,
Does it
Smalls.
really? Because I log in as myself and then I open the link. Like for some reason, maybe there's a cookie or something that sees the links and opens it as you.
Hey, tilt your monitor down or your camera down a little bit. There you go. It's like I can almost see the air vent above your head.
Yeah, like I said, the Zoom preview doesn't look the same as what you have, so I have no idea what I look like.
All right.
Let's
Let's see.
roll.
Ugh, unable to connect. What the heck? Why is Facebook unable to connect? I don't get it. I guess I have to authenticate. For some reason, Facebook's not authenticating. Um, Periscope and YouTube are. Hello, Periscope and YouTube. Hi.
We're on Periscope.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Testing that. All right. So, what is my? I gotta find my Facebook username and password there. All right. So, username. We will be getting started in just a second, folks. In fact, while I'm doing this, let's see.
Yeah, YouTube's running good.
Good. Okay. I'm gonna. See, I've got this set on Facebook. Dang it. So on Facebook, I can set to have a live video that's a recurring stream, basically where you put in the persistent stream key exactly, where I put the information in and it's set. I don't have to change it every single time. And for some reason, it is throwing a fit. Now it's online. Good. Okay. Okay, so I guess in order to do it, I have to just start my preview, I guess. Okay, cool. All right, so I want to go. All right, so I do have to hit go live then. Okay, now I know. All right, so we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome to the wonderful world of church media, guys. I'm Dave, and we're going to be getting started here in just a few moments. If you guys are joining us for the first time, this is the little pre-show we're doing. Justin has just now connected, and I'm going to bring him up in just a sec. We are doing just a couple of things. We're multicasting the show. We're broadcasting to YouTube and to Facebook Live and to Periscope. I'm trying Periscope. If you do a search on Periscope for Dave Curley, you'll find me there. So this is basically us doing our live show. Our live show is basically a live taping of our podcast of our show, the Church Media Guys show. So you guys are kind of our studio audience. Those of y'all that are joining live, watching us live. It's going to be interactive. It's not going to be perfect. We're not going to like run an intro and run commercial spots and all this sort of stuff. We're basically you guys are the audience, and we're doing a live taping. So if Justin really messes something up and like starts getting all tongue tied and like drooling on himself and stuff like that, we'll stop, cut. Let's go back. Go back to your marker. Stand on your thing. Am I right, Justin?
Yeah, except you said if. I think you meant to say when.
When. Sorry, it's when. When Justin is not perfect, because he seldom is. No, Justin's great. I love picking on Justin. Let's see. Let's show the world Justin. There you are. Okay. So I have us. I have us online. You double checked YouTube to make sure we're good over there.
Yep, everything's good.
Fandiddly-tastic. Okay. That is awesome. I love it. Do we have folks in the chat room yet?
Tommy's watching on YouTube, says it looks good, and people are still coming in on Facebook.
Good. All right. Let's make sure no dropping frames. I love it. This is good. So today, folks, we're going to be talking a little bit about the stuff that's going on over at Facebook. A little bit, kind of just a very, very high level. We got the hearings this week, that sort of stuff, and basically how all that kind of applies to you guys. I'm just curious. Anybody, any churches having issues where I don't know, you can't boost a post or not able to. To get the reach that you were getting, when you post something in your group or in your Facebook page, and all of a sudden you're getting like a reach of like 2, whereas you were getting like a reach of like 50, anything like that. I'd love to hear it if you guys are. Justin's monitoring the chat, so he will let us know. And we are going to be getting started here in just a second. Have you had a good week so far, buddy?
No, it's been a rough week.
Has it? A rough week at school, at work?
Just lots of, it's a tough season. So every week's gonna have its tough parts, and this was just Bridget has a huge test today, and we're praying for her. She's actually taking it right now.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like the first one where she actually has like a test dummy, and by test dummy I mean like an actual person in front of her.
Wow.
And she has to run whatever physical or test or something. I don't know. But she actually has it like with a real person, and like other doctors and physicians are watching her. So it's kind of a big deal. She's real stressed out about it. And then Jill's just had one of her practice being a teenager weeks.
She's like 5.
And exactly. So she's getting a head start. She's just
Holy
like her
cow.
mama. She's getting a head start. And it's just been tough because, Bridget's had to deal with this test coming up. So, it's tough not having your mommy when you need your mommy in this season that we're in. But there's a light at the tunnel, because we're going to go out and play hard either tonight or tomorrow at Dave & Buster's. So
good.
We'll have a little celebration before Bridget goes on to her next rotation.
I'm curious, does y'all's Dave & Buster's have like the casino where you can like play poker and blackjack and stuff like that?
No, I've never heard of that. I've been to several of them across Texas, and I've never seen one with a casino.
That's the way it was when it first started. Back when we first got married in 1994, and we were living up here. This is prior to us moving down to Austin. We went with some of our Sunday school friends to Dave & Buster's, and it was cool. It's like you paid like $10, and there was a blackjack dealer. There was you could play Texas Hold'em, you could play roulette, you could do all that, and it was cool. You paid like $10, and you got $10,000 in chips, and then we played all night long. I mean, it was fantastic. Wow. I walked away with $180,000 or something that I had earned at the blackjack table. Anyway, it was really cool. It told me I knew how to play blackjack. But now it's like skee ball and arcade games and all that sort of stuff, which is all fun and everything, but it's not poker or blackjack, which I really like.
Yeah, I used to love going to the. My grandfather was a Freemason, and they always did those casino charity nights.
Oh yeah,
that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
That's
even just
always
as a
fun.
Teenager, they would still let me play. I don't think they were supposed to, but I would be able to play. I had blackjack, and I'd have my little, the blackjack cheat card. I'd have that on my leg, and I would play, and that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun at Dave and Buster's. I gave Bridget the option. I said, hey, we can go and have fun at Dave and Buster's, or we can have a fancy dinner. You know, we can go to like one of the nicer restaurants. It's going to
Yeah.
cost the same when you take account dinner and games and drinks.
Oh,
It's going to be
sure.
the same whether you go to Dave and Buster's or a fancy restaurant. So I said fun or fancy, and she said fun, and I was like, okay. I was
Yeah.
all ready for fancy. I was going to take my button-down shirt out, my slacks, and get Jill in a dress, but she wanted to blow off some steam. So
Good. She needs it.
that's
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 good.
what we're doing.
That reminds.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how was your week?
It's been very busy. I've been my schedule is one of these. It's almost like a split shift. My schedule, because I get up and take Jaina to school, and like on Mondays I got to take Gigi to co-op and stuff, and then I have like 2 hours on Mondays here at the house to do something. And in this case, I was shooting on Monday. No, it wasn't Monday. I was doing stuff. I was editing and stuff on Monday. On Tuesday, I had to edit and get stuff done, plus shoot announcements at the church, plus do this, plus do that. And then Wednesday is like all day in production, and then like Thursday, it's, and in the middle of the day, anybody has a schedule like this, in the middle of the day, it's like I start getting productive, and then I have to leave at a little bit before 12, and then I don't come home till about 1:30 or 2:30, or sometimes 4, like on Tuesdays, because I do a double show, and then I got to go pick up Jaina, then I get back here to the house and stuff. It's like all that productivity time is gone, and now I'm being productive into the evenings, which is taking away from family time. So there's like it's I'm very thankful for my clients, and I love working for the folks that I work for and doing their shows and doing all that sort of stuff. I love it. I adore it. It's fantastic. It's fun, but it's just like crud. It's like that there's that chunk. It could be 2 hour chunk, or it could be a 4 hour chunk. Just really depends. And then I have to get back to work after I've done a lot of work. Does that make sense?
You're describing my day working after working.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, I'm even considering cutting out an extra hour of sleep so I can get more work done.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's real good. Dennis Yu says don't do that. Says it's not the hustle, it's the smart hustle.
Yeah. I am more of, and we've talked about this, I'm more of the Gary V. Like, I have a deadline.
Right.
We need to be self-supportive in a year.
Yeah.
So if that means I sleep 1 hour less for 1 year, I'll do that so I can sleep 1 hour more for the rest of my life.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. That's the key. It's got to be for a season. It's got to be a concentrated time. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how we got through school. It's a concentrated time, not a lifestyle.
Right. Speaking of lifestyle, I just watched a video today, and then we'll get started.
Yes.
I just watched a video today of John Cena, the wrestler.
Yes.
The big popular wrestler.
Jaina loves him.
They did a walkthrough of his day.
Uh-huh.
And he's the normal stuff. I wake up, I don't check my phone, I do this, I eat breakfast, I drink a shake, I do my meetings at 5 o'clock, I do this. And what surprised me was he's like, I will go to bed anywhere. This is my John Cena impression. I will go into bed anytime between 11 a.m. and 2 or 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. He's like, during the week, I play catch up with my sleep. So he's like, I will only sleep 1 to 4 hours a night during the week. And then on the weekends, I'll get like 6 or 8. And I'm like, dude, this is like a big honking dude. Yeah. And he's only sleeping 1 to 4 hours a night. Like, that's crazy. And he doesn't hustle. Like, he's like, my day ends at 5 and my family begins at 5.
Yeah.
He's like, so if he's staying up late, it's because it's for his family.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I just saw that. I was like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
It is.
But anyways, we got to get started
here. It's cool. President Trump only does like 4 hours. And I mean, that's like been his life for the past 30 something years. He's like one of those guys. I don't understand how some of those people can do that, to be constantly moving, and then only need 4 hours of recovery time.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's impressive, and I don't. It must be like super healthy or something. I mean, you have to be like super healthy. You have to have a really good constitution to be able to do stuff like that.
According to that medical doctor, President Trump's health is excellent, perfect. Yeah. Couldn't be any better.
Yeah, that's good. It's very good health. It's some of the best health around. All right, man.
All right,
let's get started. Hang on. I'm going to stop the pre-recording and start the official recording so it's easier to eat it. Okay, it's going. We're going. Okay, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to cut to the thing. We're getting ready to get started, guys. Remember, you guys are our live studio audience. So if you have questions while we're doing our show, we will. If it's about what we're talking about, then we will definitely make that a part of the show. Justin's monitoring that as we go. So if someone has a question on the subject and stuff, he'll bring it in and we'll do it like that. If it's off subject and stuff, then once we get past a certain section or something, then we'll answer those questions separately. And be sure to say hi and be sure to share. Guys, everybody go and share this, please. We would love to have your friends come join us while we're doing our live show. By the way, Justin, can you share this, please?
Already did.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so let me cut to the full thing here, and we'll go. All right, so we'll do the intro. We'll go. We'll say hi, then we'll go into the pro tip, which you're doing today, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then after that, we'll talk about church media hacks, and then we'll get to the feature presentation, right? Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Okay, just making sure I'm following the flow here, since you wrote it out so nicely. Hey guys, guess what? Big secret. Facebook doesn't care about you. YouTube doesn't care about you. Twitter could care less about you. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Church Media Guy Show. My name is Dave Curley. In case we haven't met, I'm the founder of ChurchTrainingAcademy.com, which is a place where you and I and a whole bunch of other church media people and church staff and ministry-minded folks come together and learn how to use and exploit media and technology so that we can take the gospel to the world. With me, as always, is my lovely and talented and amazing co-host, business partner, dude who I love dearly, Justin Nava. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Dave? What's going on, everyone? And yes, I am curious. Does Facebook actually care? Do all these companies actually care about me? What's my part in here? And I'm excited to dig into that. And I know Allison is too. She's watching live and she says she's watching to see if Facebook is worth the time we put into it. So many people are leaving Facebook in her circle. And so is it worth it for churches to continue? And really, I'm going to ask this later. How do we best use it knowing what we're going to learn? Right. I'm excited. It's going to be a good show.
Fantastic. I am too. Have you had a good week? Has it been good for you?
So far, the week's been good. It's been rough.
Yeah.
We're in a rough season. Wife's in graduate school. Jill is growing. Our 4-year-old is growing like a weed. And, it was one of those weeks where Bridget had to hunker down, focus on school. I had to hunker down and focus on being, a good dad to Jill. And Jill had to focus on practicing her teenagership because, she's a Head Start person. She's only 4 years old, but she's already practicing ignoring me, not listening to me, not minding her manners. She's getting it down really good. She's
that's good.
Fantastic teenager.
Hey, listen, she has always excelled, and exceeded our expectations. And once again, she's doing that. And that's fantastic.
That's right.
You have
Love her to death, though.
You guys have to do like we did with Gigi, where you teach her to use her powers for good.
Exactly. And she does. Everywhere we go, great manners. And the problem is I was like this when I was a kid, great manners for grandma and grandpa, great manners for strangers, perfect student. And then she comes home and she just releases all of the negativity in the house. It's amazing.
Yeah. And then
I tell stories and people are like, that's not the Jill I know.
Right. Yes. How can she be that? Well, she channels it.
But yeah, so it's been really good. We're looking forward to this weekend. Gonna have some fun and gonna have a good time. How about your week?
It's been really busy. I tell people I have a ton of stuff to do. My list keeps getting larger and larger, and I try to get everything done that I possibly can get done and all that. And sometimes it just doesn't ever seem to be enough. So I am looking forward to a little bit of time off, but I'm working this weekend. My dad's got me going over to Dallas to meet him at a conference to do a bunch of testimonial interviews and all that kind of stuff. So it's like it never stops. But I'm glad it never stops because I'm honing my skills and I'm learning and I'm creating and I'm producing and doing all that sort of stuff. And eventually you and I will be at a point where we are doing it strictly and solely for our Church Training Academy audience, and I cannot wait until we get to a point where we do that.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We love serving you guys. We love building content for you guys. We love ministering to you guys, and that's something God's called us to do. And gosh, the more we can do that for y'all, the better life's going to be for all of us all the way around. Hey, before we get into our topic today, talking about social media and Facebook and YouTube and all that other junk, let's talk a little bit about our pro tip. Did you say caca?
No, I said Duca.
Oh, Duke. Oh, Dookie. Okay, nice. Class act there, Justin.
Don't make that the intro.
All right, I'm going to cut to a...
Now that's going to be part of the intro.
Oh, it's definitely going to be part of the intro. Last week, it was like your Freddy Krueger of antihistamines.
That was fine.
Yeah, that was hilarious. All right.
That's great.
So, Justin, you have our pro tip this week. You going to share some fantastic, brilliant insights with us?
Yes, today's pro tip is all about future proofing your inspiration. And that sounds kind of weird when I say it that way. You're future proofing your inspiration. We always talk about, if you have the budget, if you have the funds, future proof your technology. Buy a 4K TV because in a few years, everything's going to go 4K, or buy an HDR TV. Because everything in a few years is going to be HDR. So we talk about, kind of setting yourself up for success in the future so you're not constantly playing catch up. And today, for your design inspiration, if you have to design web pages, flyers, if you have to even social media posts, emails, any kind of content you're creating for your church, eventually you're going to come into a roadblock where either you have blank page syndrome, where you just can't get past, a blank page, or you're looking at something you made and you think, how can I make it better? How can I take it to the next level? And so that's what I'm talking about today. Pro tip is to future proof your inspiration by creating what we call a swipe file. And this is it's called a swipe file because in the olden days, when everything was paper, you used to have a file in your desk. And whenever you got something that came across your desk, or something, you got a flyer or you got an ad, and in marketing, we would say, we really like this. This works for this company. I want to save this and draw inspiration from it in the future. We'd file it away and we call it our swipe file. And now that everything's digital, things live in so many places. My pro tip for you today is to organize your digital files into a way that you can store things to draw inspiration from later. So a few things that you can do is basically create a folder on your computer or on your cloud drive. If you have Google Drive or Dropbox, create a folder there. And anytime you come across a social media post, a website, some kind of graphic that you like, take a screenshot of it, or if it's a video, take a screen recording of it, and then file it away in your swipe file on your drive. This way, if in the future, if someone says, hey, I need a VBS flyer, and you have no idea where to start, you can go and look at one that you already grabbed online, or, hey, promote this event on social media. You might have swiped something from another church social media that you have stored away on your Dropbox. And it's just a screenshot. And then you can pull inspiration from that. I do it all the time with websites. I see a website, I see a landing page I love. I say, man, I really like the colors. I like the layout. Man, I like the way they phrased it. I will grab a screenshot of that website using one of our productivity tools. It's called, what's the Awesome Screenshot?
Yes,
I'll use Awesome Screenshot to take an entire page of the website, and then I'll file it away. And the next time I'm thinking, man, what really goes with pink? This brand has this pink, but I need a secondary color. I'll go to my swipe file and find a website that I've seen use pink before in a really good way. You can also create an email folder. If you get emails that you really like, emails from people that you like, you can swipe their emails, just put them away in an email folder. And then when you need to send an email and you're like, man, where do I even start? What layout works? You can go and look at emails that have found success before and draw inspiration from it. We're not saying copy, we're saying draw inspiration from it. You can also create a bookmarks folder. If you just have different resources that you use all the time, different tools, different ideas, just create a bookmark folder on your browser. And then, just say, this is my swipe folder for my desktop. So on mine, I'm looking on mine right now. I have several social media pages that I always go to. And so I just have them all there. I have several different landing pages that I draw inspiration from, different portfolios of other artists that I draw from. I have their portfolios bookmarked on my swipe file on my bookmarks. And then, of course, use the tool we've talked about before for physical documents. Use Cam Scanner. Because then you can take a picture of, if you see a bulletin that you like, if you see a receipt that you like, you can say like, oh, I really like this, the way they did this receipt or something like that. This is from my car dealership. You say, I like the colors on here. You grab a picture of it with Cam Scanner, file it away, and then next time you need to come up with some color combinations, some layout, some kind of design of a Connect card that you saw from another church, you just throw it in that file. And then in the future, if you have to do a similar project and you're just drawing a blank or you need some inspiration, go to that file, find something you've swiped before, and take that as inspiration or as a starting point to make something of your own. So pro tip for today, be a pro, because all the pros do this. Create a swipe file and start using it. Because if you start using it now, anytime you click on an email, anytime you sign up through a website, go ahead and swipe it and file it away, because that means it worked for you. And if you're trying to reach someone with your similar interests, or if you're trying to communicate in a way that has worked before, you've got evidence and you've got a place to start.
I think that is a great idea. One of the things that I do is I use, I kind of toggle back and forth depending on what it is. I will use Evernote for things like that, where if I, if I sign up for somebody's course, or if I sign up for like somebody's webinar or something like that, and I really like the way that they are presenting their pitch for their subject, and the follow up emails and stuff. It's like, you know what? That's a really effective way. It piqued my interest, and I'm in this field. I will gather all those things, the follow up emails, all that sort of stuff, and I'll put them all in an Evernote document or make a notebook or what have you. I have a notebook I think called Swipe Files, and then I'll tag it, Swipe, and then tag it with like email marketing, and then like maybe the person's name, if it's Scott Olford or somebody that I'm Ray Edwards or whatever, so that I can I want to go through like Ray Edwards funnel for this type deal and see how it would apply. I think it's brilliant. I love doing it. I do that with Evernote, and I also use Pocket for stuff like that, where if I see someone did a tutorial or did an article talking about a certain subject and it's really good, and I know it's going to be applicable to my audience, or if it's going to be if the concept is there and I need to take some of the meat of what they're talking about and show how it's applicable, or show in the case of dealing with the church how it would be appropriate, kind of like we're doing with the Facebook thing. There's like Facebook marketing and there's all this kind of stuff, but we're kind of funneling it towards our specific niche. I'll use Pocket to like save that article or that video or that tutorial or whatever, and then use that as a reference point. I love it. So great idea, dude. Fantastic.
All right, cool. And if you want other tips like this, other shortcuts, I would call them not so much shortcuts. I would go so far as to call them ethical shortcuts.
Ethical
If
white
you want,
hat shortcuts.
yeah, quick wins, ethical shortcuts, or even some sneaky tricks. I would call it sneaky tricks. I shared one today yesterday
Right.
in the group, because you can actually see who's viewing your profile. And this isn't one of those ones where like sign up for this service, give
Right.
us access. No, no, no. This is like right click this button, search for this phrase, and then it'll spit out the different Facebook users that are looking at your Facebook profile or have visited
Mm-hmm.
your Facebook profile in the past. It's real sneaky. There's nothing to download. There's nothing to give permission to. So don't worry about that. I shared that in our Church Media Hacks group. So if you want more of these ideas, shortcuts, quick tips, easy wins, little tricks to save you time and budget, and find sneaky ways to do things, join the Church Media Hacks group, because it is a free group. It is open to all. We have our insider group that is open only to members, but the Church Media Hacks group is open to everyone. So if you want more information like this, more pro tips like this, we'll also share resources that we come across, great articles, great ideas, great tools, great anything that will help you maximize and unlock your ministry potential. That's going to be at Church Media Hacks Facebook group. You can go to churchmediahacks.com. It'll just short you right through to the group. Ask to join, and we'll let you in, and you'll get more tips like this pretty much every day. We're sharing something.
Yeah, and
So go to that group.
We highly encourage people to share stuff that they're doing, things that they did.
Yes.
I know one thing that we've shared in our insiders group, and in our mastermind and stuff. Tommy had this great hack when he was trying to set up a camera in the auditorium, and he was like, I don't have a place to put a tripod. I can't, do this. And he got a flagpole, and the flagpole that you like put on the side of your house or like on your garage. He got that mount, and he did a hack on it to make basically a nice unobtrusive pole that was, it's only like that thin, but the camera's mounted up on top of that, and then that's wired in through the ceiling and all that sort of stuff. I thought it was brilliant. It was like, that really is a hack. That's like using a flagpole mount to actually do a permanent mount that is unobtrusive for your camera. I thought it was brilliant. So all that kind of stuff is in there, guys. We want to learn from you. We want to share with you. So come check us out. Now, Justin, it is time to get into our feature presentation.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bow. Yeah.
Nothing like the song.
Like I said, I don't listen to the little beats. I just watch myself on the shows, and I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah, I like to see you
Rock
speak
Davis. French. Rock Davis is watching for the first time. She's digging the Iron Man swag.
Very cool. And I have Iron Man 2 playing. Like, there's Justin Hammer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yep, there's oh yeah, this is the part where he gets the suit out of the car, where what's his face starts tearing up the car on the Le Mans track. All right. So
Yeah, now that everyone's watching Iron Man 2,
uh pay attention here, right here, not there,
let's get
here.
into our content. We're gonna try to keep this to about 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
I think Dave could talk about this for hours, and he might. I don't know if he has anything to do after we close the actual recording. But you know, basically for this one, we're gonna do the interview style. I'm gonna interview Dave, get his take. You and I had like a discussion spanning what 2 hours last night.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah.
And we were like, so should we, you said something like, we don't have to do this, and I was like, no, we should just basically have the conversation we just had.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna do.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good show. We have 12 people watching. I think that's
Fantastic.
in the upper limit of what we've had before, so people definitely want to know about this.
I love it. I love it. Well, let me start off. I'm going to get to a full screen real quick, and I'll introduce it. Hey guys, I've got a thought that I want to throw out there for you, and I don't know if you've ever really thought about this or not, or if you've realized this, or if I'm going to rock your world with this simple truth. But here is a truth, a simple truth. Facebook does not care about you. By the way, YouTube could care less about you and your ministry, and Twitter doesn't give a hill of beans about you, your ministry, or anything that you're doing. Did you know that? Did you know that, Justin? Did I just rock your world?
Yeah, I got some questions.
Okay, good. Well, one of the things, if you guys haven't been paying attention over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, you know, Facebook's been kind of like on the in front of a firing squad basically for the last couple of weeks. In fact, this past week, Mark Zuckerberg was testifying in front of Congress or in Congress. Getting grilled, sitting on the hot seat, and you know, sitting there with his, you know, deer caught in the headlight eyes, as these senators, you know, postured and asked, you know, sometimes relevant and sometimes extremely irrelevant and uninformed questions and stuff. It was really interesting to watch. If you don't know what's going on, there were some privacy concerns at one point a few years ago. Facebook used to have it where, you know, when an app developer comes and develops an app, you know, whether it's a quiz app or a game or whatever, when they do that, they were allowing, you know, when you would sign up, it would say, hey, listen, we want access to your to be able to post on your page, or excuse me, on your profile, to see your photos, to see your thing. You know, they want to gather that kind of information and stuff. And a lot of people are like, why would they want to post on my page? Well, because, you know, like the results of the quiz, you know, the Harry Potter, you know, which Harry Potter character are you, or which Star Wars character are you, or, you know, whatever these little quizzes were and stuff. And so when they do stuff like that, at one point they were like, you would grant access to have your information, but then it would also be like, you know, my profile information and my friends, you know, the people that have liked me or followed me or whatever like that, they would be able to get that information. So they were gathering some of this like demographic data, and, you know, male and female, and lives in this part of the country, and, you know, likes this type of pages and vacations here and all that kind of stuff. So they gathered, you know, this demographic data and stuff, and they're not supposed to sell this stuff. They're supposed to use it for their own marketing and targeting of their ads and their games and making things better and all that sort of stuff. But they ended up selling it, and so now Facebook's on the hot seat. How much data did you give away? And I mean, just all this kind of garbage. It's a whole big mess. Anyway, that was a lot of stuff that they were talking about this week. Another thing that they were talking about that a lot of people have been, it's all kind of anecdotal. I haven't seen research data or any, you know, kind of stuff like that, or, you know, polling data or anything, but just anecdotal stories of people that are more conservative, have more conservative views, are being depreciated in the Facebook feed, in the news feed. Pages are being depreciated. People that support Trump or that have more traditional viewpoints and things like that are being depreciated. You know, there's these two Facebook gals, sisters, Diamond and Silk. You know, they had, you know, their viewership dropped drastically from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people reached per video to like 3, and they can't boost, they can't put an ad on. I mean, just all kinds of things like that happen. We've seen some of that stuff happening on YouTube as well, where like Steven Crowder and Dennis Prager and Prager University, their videos are being flagged as inappropriate, dangerous, stuff like that. I mean, Diamond and Silk, these two girls just sit there and they talk. you know, and Facebook sent them a thing saying, you know, hey, this content is unsafe for the community. All this kind of stuff has been happening, and um, it's like I said, it's anecdotal. We can't prove it. I don't know if the algorithm is saying, you know, hey, if you're left leaning, then you get stuff. If you're right leaning, you're not. If you're a Christian, you get depreciated. If you're Muslim, you get. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff. But it really kind of stuck in my craw that I don't have any control over my stuff. You know what I'm saying, Justin?
Yes, and you and I, this was part of what took place over the last couple hours last night, and what eventually drove us to do this show, do this type of show, is that we don't really know what's going on,
Right.
and because of that, you and I, we work together, we love each other, we worship together, but we have different viewpoints on what's going on,
Hmm.
and that's fine, but when after talking for 2 hours, it really came down to, well, you and I really don't know what's going on,
Right.
and that's the problem.
Right. Yeah. That's
We're not here to point and say this is happening, this is
right.
happening, this is wrong, this is wrong. It's the fact that, well, we just don't know,
Right.
and that's what it comes down to. Is that you have to ask the question: do we really have control?
You,
And then if we don't, is it worth something pursuing?
yeah. If we step back, we need to stipulate a couple of things real quick. Um, you and I live in the United States of America. We have a constitution that affirms natural, you know, natural law rights, the right to life, the right to say
Unalienable rights.
unalienable rights, right? And that our Bill of Rights affirms these things. They say that I can say Trump is a goober, and you can say Hillary is a goober or whatever, and they can't like send the cops to arrest us, okay? Because
Right.
junk like that was happening, like as our company, as our country was being founded. If you talked bad about the king, they'd throw you in jail and stuff. So we have these rights that are enumerated and affirmed that says, hey, Congress shall make no laws that stop you from saying stuff that you want to say, or from protecting yourself, or from having them kick in your door and search your house. Okay, so that is Congress. Our government cannot make laws that strip us of these rights. Okay, so we set that aside. Now, Facebook is not Congress. Facebook is a company that was started in a dorm room. YouTube is a company that these guys wanted to put videos up and let you put videos up. Twitter is a was an SMS service that went to the web and stuff. I mean, so these are companies that were created. Most of them are all, in fact, I think they're all, publicly traded companies, and they have corporations. Then they got FCC rules and all this kind of stuff, and trade rules and stuff like that that they have to follow because they're publicly traded corporations. That's fine, but they're not Congress. So when we talk about censorship and all this kind of stuff, none of that has like legal stuff unless they're like violating some sort of a commerce law or something like that, or a communications law. Okay, so basically, if they want to serve one type of community and depreciate another type of community, what can we do? I don't think we can do anything unless we're like paying for a service and can say, I bought this service and I'm supposed to be getting this level of service, and you're not doing it. You're giving me half of the service, but you're giving other people who are paying what I'm paying full amounts of service, and that's unfair. Stuff like that. Okay. In this case, we don't write the algorithms. We can't do anything. If they don't like us, then our hands are kind of tied, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it all comes down to a breach of contract, is what I think you're referring to.
Right. And
We have, as citizens, we have rights against corporations if we enter a contract into them,
right.
and then they break the contract. Same way, if you break your contract, you don't pay back your debt.
Right.
The corporation has a right to pursue you
Of
because you
course.
broke the contract. We have an agreement. If a car says that you're safe, you can drive this car, and it follows all the laws, and then it turns out they don't follow the laws,
Right.
or it's not safe to the level that is legally required, then we have the right to chase after them.
Right.
Uh,
In this
and
case,
I,
we kind of don't, because basically we agree to be on their platform and play nice.
that's right.
We say we're not going to be, we're gonna have like a minimal standard of good
Well,
behavior.
not even play nice. We're going to follow their
rules, right? And they can
because
determine what they
there's
want to
things
take
that
down or not.
there's things that are nice that we can't do on Facebook.
Right, sure.
I tried to share. I actually got my first Facebook ad account banned because I tried to share an inspirational news report
Hmm.
that said, 70-year-old woman loses 200 pounds. It was awesome. It was a good report. It was for a page that was motivational,
Hmm.
and the news report, the featured image was a woman that the 70-year-old woman that weighed 400 pounds and then weighed 200 pounds,
Hmm.
before and after
Hmm.
photo.
Sure.
Well, according to Facebook's ad policies, you cannot use before and after photos in your ads because they think, they call it manipulative. It makes the user feel
Right,
bad.
sure.
They just don't like it, right?
Yeah.
But this was an inspirational story. It had no poor reflection on the user. So I posted it and I boosted it, and then I got my ad account banned
Right.
because it was a before and this was a year ago,
Hmm.
a year and a half ago. So it wasn't like more recently. I mean, it's always been this way.
Hmm.
And it was kind of like, okay, but I talked to them as much as I could. It's really a one-way conversation
Right.
when you're talking to Facebook. I talked to them. I said, hey, this was not an ad. This was a news report. It wasn't leading to any paid content or any paid content. It wasn't leading to even a sign up. It was literally just a news article, just to get some people feeling good, right? And hopefully like the page. And they replied back, no, all decisions are final. Have a
Right.
nice day.
Yeah.
So it's not even playing nice. It's playing within their boundaries.
Right.
You
And
read the
sometimes they
terms,
fluctuate.
and they fluctuate. Yeah. And I think they do a good job of telling you when privacy things have changed or settings have changed
Sure.
or buttons are moved. They didn't used to, but now I get notifications at the top of my feed. Hey, we've changed this one thing. Check it out. Of course, most people will probably scroll right past it.
Right.
But
And that's on
but
that person. That's on
and
that person.
that
I
is.
mean, how many
But
times have
really,
you and I seen, whether we go into YouTube or Google or Twitter or Facebook, where it says, "Hey, let's go double check all your privacy settings. Let's go double." They're like, "Hey, let's go make sure that you're letting people see what you want them to see." They're prompting us to walk through these steps, but we're not doing it.
right, and that's I think Zuck said that on
Many
Capitol
times.
Hill when,
Hmm.
when they were like, "Well, can you do this?" And Zuck was like, "Well, only if the user says it's okay. We don't just do it freely."
Right.
But that's getting a little bit outside of what we're talking about. We're really talking about. So we kind of know some, but we don't know everything.
Right.
We talked about how there's 3 types of traffic that you control. I learned this from Russell Brunson. He
Hmm.
probably learned it from someone else. There's traffic you own, there's traffic you don't own, there's traffic you own, there's traffic you control, and then there's traffic you don't control.
Right.
So basically, the traffic you own is the stuff that you own. It's your website, it's
Right.
your email address, it's your building, right? And then there's traffic you control, right? Which is where you pay Facebook or pay Google and say, hey, send this traffic over here. You
Hmm.
pay someone, say, hey, let me use your email list. And then there's traffic you don't control. That's the people that are finding you on Google.
Hmm.
That's the people that just happen to be driving by. And so the issue is a lot of churches treat Facebook as traffic that they own. They
Right.
say it's my Facebook page. Why isn't Facebook doing what I want with it?
Right.
And the answer is the title really is the real reason you can't rely on Facebook. It's like you don't own it.
Right.
Dave?
It's theirs. It's theirs. This is their platform. And I've heard this several times, and I don't know if a lot of people have really thought about this and stuff, but Facebook is not the product. Facebook is the advertiser. They are the platform. We are their product. Us coming onto their platform gives them the ability to sell advertising ads and apps and services and products and stuff to us, the people who would buy it. So Facebook goes to advertisers and says, we have 2 billion people who use our platform. You advertise on our platform, and we will show your ads to a subset of these 2 billion people. Okay? They don't care if they're Christians, if they're Muslim, if they're Hindu, if they're left wing, right wing, whatever. They don't care. Ostensibly, they don't care. Now, Facebook is run by people. Some people have these leanings. Some people have these other leanings. These are some of the anecdotal issues that we're seeing. Do we know that Facebook favors a liberal viewpoint versus a conservative? We don't know. One thing that really stuck out to me, by the way, parenthetically, in the thing was several times Zuckerberg said that they are using AI and they're using hand checks. Them looking at stuff and determining to lower the amount of hate speech that's on the Facebook platform. Who defines what hate speech is? That is a big, big thing. A big thing. Okay. I have here's an example. Okay. And if this is a hot button for you, sorry or yay, whatever. I don't care. I have quite a few friends that I've known for years that are gay. Okay. I had a conversation one time. I was talking with one of these people, and we were talking about salvation and God and God's plan and all that sort of stuff. And I was laying out some of God's principles, and my friend, who'd been friends with for a long time, said, "I hate gay people." Or it's telling me, Dave, you hate gay people, and I'm saying, "No, I don't hate gay people." He equates hatred with disagreement in a lifestyle choice. Okay. So for him, me saying that God's original plan is one man, one woman is hate speech. Okay. There's a lot of people that think that way. There's a lot of people that don't think that way. There's a whole political correctness umbrella out there that seems to be a moving target a lot, where what was once considered normal is now considered hate speech. When you have such a nebulous, subjective term and definition, then anything can be considered bad or anything can be considered good. There's no objective truth. It's just they think it's hate speech. So, YouTube has been turning off, banning, getting rid of channels that show anything to do with firearms. A lot of those channels have stupid people. A lot of those channels have, say like the NRA channels showing how to maintain a gun, how to do this, things that educate people that people need to know. Here's how you properly do things. Well, they've just said it's all, it's all bad and stuff, so we're getting rid of it. We don't have any control over that because they've made a decision that under their circumstances, their thought processes, this, legal or not, is bad. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We don't have that. So you as a church who is preaching on a certain subject, if you're preaching a politically correct gospel, then maybe no effect. If you're preaching a non-politically correct gospel, maybe there's going to be effect. Maybe they're going to say that your stuff is not safe for the community. Maybe it's harmful, and so they're going to make people have to say, "No, I want to see this dangerous content and stuff." I mean, who knows? The problem is we don't have control over this, but we need to be aware of this sort of stuff and kind of adapt and move as things are going. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and just to make sure it's super clear, we're not saying Facebook is actively hunting
No,
churches
no,
in conservative
no,
values.
we're
We're
not
not
saying that.
saying that.
We're saying that
We're
there's it's
we're saying that
those decisions
we
are
don't
subjective.
have right. We don't have freedom of anything
Right. Yeah.
on a platform we optionally opt in on.
Right. Exactly.
So
If they
we're
decide
not
something's
saying
bad, they decide it's
we're
bad.
not yeah we're not the fire insurance salesman that a building burns down and now we're knocking on your church door and saying you need fire insurance.
Yeah.
We're saying if you want to be 100% confident on future proofing yourself, we talk about future proofing yourself in the pro tip.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be 100% confident on future proofing yourself, don't put all your eggs in one basket that you're not holding.
Right. That's exactly
a good way
right.
to put it.
I think that is. So I guess the question is, Justin, what can we do or what should we do, whether we're a business owner, an individual, or a church? What should we do to make sure that we're as bulletproof, as it were, safe from the whims of a platform that decides that this is good and this is bad and now it's different? What do you think we should do?
Okay, well, first of all, we talk about exploiting technology to share the gospel and
Right.
maximize your ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook is one of those technologies. Many people are on Facebook. I think it was like 70% of American adults are on Facebook, probably less now than that stat. But people are there. People are congregating there. And just as Jesus went to where people were congregating, we should too. And so as long as Facebook is on there and as long as we know as long as we're not being banned or we're not doing whatever, then preach the gospel on Facebook, share the gospel on Facebook, share testimonials on Facebook, do all that stuff.
Mhm.
Go like normal, but know that you're not holding the basket.
Right.
So whenever you do say like, this is what we're relying on in the future, this is what we need, this is what we control, Facebook is not the answer. The answer is your website, your email list,
Mhm.
and really honestly, if you're a local church, your building, right? You
Right.
know that that's your building, especially if you own the land, right? If you're renting, if you're in a movie theater, you don't own it, okay? But you own your building. So those are the things you own. That's where you want to drive people to. So don't rely on just putting something on Facebook and hope everyone sees it. Okay, actually actively try to drive people to your website, sign up for your email list, or
Mhm.
make a visit. So we always say many churches, their website, their goal is to get people to come to church, whether it's for a service, whether it's for a new member class, whether it's for an event. We understand that if we want to really get people's attention and get the gospel in front of them, it used to be get them to go to church. Well, now you can share the gospel to them through email,
Mhm.
and you own that list. Your email is not going anywhere, and it has a 100% deliverability. People expect communications through email. And so don't just put it on Facebook and hope people see it and then wonder why no one's seeing it when the algorithm changes, like it recently did.
Mhm.
Push people towards your owned your owned content. Okay. And so share what you own on Facebook, be encouraging on Facebook, use it to minister and disciple, but don't rely on it because you don't control it. So number one, I think you and I would agree on this, is don't rely 100% on Facebook. Don't put everything to live on
Right.
Facebook. Don't put facebook.com/Bill and Ted's Excellent Church as
Right.
your website on your business cards,
Right.
because you don't own that. That page might be gone and someone has that business card and says, why can't I find this page?
Right.
Or Facebook might change the URL for some reason.
Yeah.
They might, it looks, they might, you share that business card with a man and then they go to that Facebook page. Well, your most recent church post is about the women's event. Well, that man doesn't know the
Right.
difference. That's the first thing he sees. And this is a church for a bunch of women. I don't know. But you control your website. You control what's always in front, how people navigate through your website. You control your email, how people receive it, when they receive it.
Mhm.
Always number one is just always be mindful of the traffic you control and move people, push that, encourage them to do that. Similar to how we encourage them to make a visit in person, encourage them to visit something that you own. Leave Facebook, go to where you want. And I know that's a little controversial because now the algorithm favors people staying on Facebook. And there's a couple tricks and hacks that you can do to make it appear like they're still on Facebook,
Right.
but really they're on your website that's being viewed from Facebook,
Right.
or they're on your sign up page that integrates with Facebook. But real number one, basically, I know Dave, you're getting bored. uh, push towards traffic you control.
But and when it comes to Facebook, we've had people say, "Well, I'm leaving Facebook. I'm doing stuff." Okay, look, that's look, if you want to do that, that's fine. Here's the reality of the situation right now. That's like, I'm not going to use Google. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Use Bing? Use Yahoo search? I mean, okay, the reality is, here's the landscape as it is. Facebook is the largest social media network on the planet. 2 billion people are there. About 250 million or so, 300 million, something like that, American citizens are on there. Okay, so if you want to communicate, you can and you should be communicating on that platform. However, like he says, um, that should be one arrow in your communication quiver. You should also be on Twitter. You should be using Twitter. You should be using Instagram. You should be publishing to YouTube. You should be also podcasting. You should be doing these things where it's. I always talk about like death by 1,000 cuts. It's like success by 1,000 cuts. You have all these avenues that you are using, okay, and a certain percentage of them will have a certain amount of reach and success. Overall, they're a part of your communications message and your publishing outlets, your publishing methods. If they change, it's okay. If somebody comes up with something, the new Facebook or the Facebook killer, and everybody starts moving over that, we're going to move over to that, and we're going to start using that. And if Facebook goes the way of MySpace or Friendster or these other social media platforms that kind of fell away, okay, that's going to change. Facebook may be the dominant one for the next 20 years. It may be the dominant one for the next 6 months. We just don't know. Now, we should, like he said, all roads need to go to your website. And the goal should always be to be growing your email list on your website, okay? For your members and for your visitors, okay? You can reinforce and, like you said, be guaranteed that you will be able to communicate with them if you are owning those platforms. Justin, what do you see that there's a danger in focusing too heavily on one thing or not focusing on any of these platforms at all and only using your website and only using your email?
Um, it depends on what your goal is. We talked about last week with, well, actually 2 weeks when this comes out with Alejandro Reyes
Mhm.
about using Facebook as a tool to reach people with paid marketing. Put a few bucks
Sure.
and get a message in front, get an invite in front of people. So there is value there. If you want to just use your website, you're going to be leaving a lot of you're going to be leaving a lot of hope in traffic you don't control finding your website, unless
Yeah.
you just go out and hand out flyers, say, hey, visit our website and sign up for our email
Well,
list.
and you're gonna have
So
to you're gonna have to
Facebook is
really
another tool that
nail.
you can use to drive people to there.
Right. And if you are only going to be relying on your website, which we think the website needs to be a big chunk of it, not the 100% outlet, right?
Mhm.
But you're going to have to get really good at search engine optimization and making sure that you are publishing the material in the way that Google and Bing and these others are going to work for it and in the way people are searching for, which is a whole nother thing. The long and the short of it, basically, guys, is don't go running screaming from Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. Put them in their proper place in your mind that they are there. They are in control of their platforms. They will determine what is hate speech. They will determine what is good content. They will determine what is dangerous, what is inappropriate, what is bad for the community. They will do stuff like that. They will also take into consideration what you and I are saying. If we report a video on Facebook as being not good and dangerous or pornographic or something like that, violent or whatever, there's going to be a certain weight that they give to that, especially if more people are doing that. I mean, we don't have any control over that. Okay, but use them,
Right.
maximize them as best you can. That's what we want to teach you. That's what we're trying to teach you guys at Church Training Academy. But understand that they are what they are. Okay, that's the big thing, and don't put all of your hope in that one platform, that one killer platform or killer app or whatever. Don't do that. It's all part. It's one arrow in a quiver of arrows.
So let me ask you this question, and then I'm going to take off
Okay.
while you answer it.
Yeah.
Christopher Hall said something really good. He said, we may not know what is going on with these social platforms, but the content is what is most important. As long as we provide good content, then our followers will follow us no matter what.
Right.
And so my question to you, I'm going to leave you with this question, then I got to take off, is so we know we don't own it. We know our website and email are super important. And yes, the podcast, I almost forgot the podcast is another
Yes.
another platform that you own. That's
Yes.
your
Absolutely.
RSS feed.
Yes. That's right.
So knowing that we don't control Facebook or social media at all, what is the best way to use it? We know we don't want to abandon it. The attention is there. The people are there. They're congregating there. We need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave, how do we continue on using Facebook?
I think the best way to use Facebook, the most effective way to use it um, is kind. What I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. We should use it as a place to have conversations, a place to showcase our work, the things that we're doing. We can use it as a promotional place, okay, as a way to reach people, especially if you're boosting posts and you're doing ads and things like that. The data that they when we this is such a misunderstood thing, it seems. If you read the news accounts, I don't know if the news people don't understand this, or if they're purposely trying to confuse it so that they can get more in their stories. I don't know. Okay, but Facebook basically tracks you by watching what you do. Okay, and it's not a thing where they're like they're listening on your phone calls and they're the webcam turns on. They want to see if you're eating a sandwich or if you're eating a hamburger. I mean, it's not that nefarious. Okay, what they're doing is they're making note that you like something. Okay, so if you like a page, if you like In-N-Out Burger, Okay, well, they're going to be like, okay, Dave Curley likes In-N-Out Burger. Neat. So he likes fast food. Okay, he likes hamburgers. Okay, he likes Whataburger. Okay, so Dave likes fast food and hamburgers. That's good. He likes Taco Bell. Okay, well, now we know he likes fast food. He likes Chick-fil-A. Okay, well, now he likes Chick-fil-A. He likes fast food. Okay, so they're going to show me an ad if Smash Burger is running a promotional. Okay, that kind of stuff, right? Dave likes, he liked the Iron Man trailer that somebody showed. He liked the Civil War trailer that somebody showed. Chances are he likes Marvel movies. Okay, chances are he likes action movies. Okay, so when the new trailer comes out for Black Panther, we're going to show that to Dave. Did he like it? Yes. Okay, good. So we're on the right track. He does like Marvel movies. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that they're going to do. They won't show me a romantic comedy. Okay, they're going to show my wife the romantic comedy, because she likes enough of these movie trailers that lead them to think that it's romantic comedies that she likes. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that they're doing. Based on that, then you and I are going to be able to use that information that they've been kind of gathering and like putting people in these little buckets of likes and dislikes and physical locations and areas and regions and stuff like that, so that we can target an ad to them. What do we do at our church? We do the when we're having an event or something, we will do a promotional video for that event, and then we will target houses with an income of, I don't know, 21,000 to 80,000. Or $120,000 mean household income, whatever it is, in a 5-mile radius physical location of our church. So there you go. So we are not sending out a promotional video to people in Plano that we're doing a new series at our church. That person in Plano may want to come, but it's not a good use of our dollar to try to target that person to come and be a member of our church. I mean, they live 60 miles away. So I mean, come on. Why would we want to say, hey, every Sunday and every Wednesday night, drive 60 miles to come to our church? No, we want them to be plugged into a church in their community. So we're going to target the people in our area, just like the Jiffy Lube does, just like Chick-fil-A does, just like the tailor shop, the alteration shop is going to do. They're going to target that sort of. So that's how you use Facebook. Okay, you want to use Facebook to promote, you want to use it to showcase, you want to use it to start conversations, you want to use it to build these relationships in a digital form when you can't necessarily do it physical, or to augment the physical relationships, or to drive towards the physical relationship. Okay, but just remember that it is not the sum total. Don't just post your sermons on Facebook. Don't just write articles and pastoral blog posts and things like that on Facebook. Okay, do some of that, but push people to more information over on your website. Okay, with Facebook advertising, you can say, you can do things like say, if this person has watched one of our videos or say this video, whatever, the Easter promotional, if they've watched it for 30 seconds or watched half of it, 50% of it, then if they've done that, then let's show them this one, this ad, this video ad, or this video. If they have done both of those, then show them this article on our website, or show them, send them a messenger message if they've commented on it. And that messenger message says, hey, I'm the pastor at this church. I would love to for you to come join us for coffee on Sunday morning. That kind of stuff. Okay, just some ideas. One arrow in your quiver. Okay, don't do it all. Don't only do it, guys. There's a lot of stuff here. I can go on forever. I do not want to go on forever. I hope that this has been helpful for y'all. I hope you kind of are getting the idea. Don't run from Facebook. Just understand we don't necessarily control it 100%. What we can control is what we put on there. We can't necessarily control who's going to see it and for how long they're going to be able to see it. Okay? Doesn't mean we don't stop. Just means that we're wise about it. Okay? So If you guys are wanting to learn more about this kind of stuff, about live streaming your services, about how you can have a more effective church website, how to more effectively use social media, all those sort of things, you can do that by becoming a Church Training Academy insider, by joining our group, by joining our website. If you go to churchtrainingacademy.com/join, you can sign up and become a CTA insider. With that, you're going to get training courses, you're going to get tutorials, things that we put in our back end for our members. And we're building new stuff all the time. We've got several courses that are in production right now that we'll be releasing soon. We have our CTA Insiders group, which is a private Facebook group just for members of Church Training Academy. Okay, so we have our Church Media Hacks group, where anybody who is in the church media ministry space, right, the ministry staff, volunteers, pastors, secretaries, whatever, all that sort of stuff, can join and learn how to do all kinds of different things, make things easier in church media, and share the stuff that they're doing. Members of Church Training Academy have the CTA Insiders group, which is a more concentrated group where you bring us the things that you want to talk about, where you ask questions, where you have a community that will work with you, where Justin and I can work with you, in some cases on one-on-one in the comments and things like that. It's a tight-knit group of folks that are helping each other and helping them through breakthroughs, helping them break through barriers, helping them come up with new ideas, helping us refine existing ideas, things like that. It's a fantastic group. We love it. One of the things we do is every 2 weeks, we do a mastermind group coaching group. So we all get together in a group coaching environment on a Zoom call, basically, and we spend a couple of hours working together. So if one of us has a question, hey, my live stream's not working, it keeps doing this, we all tackle it. Justin and I tackle it. I tackle the things that I know how to tackle, and he tackles the things he knows how to tackle. You get access to us for that concentrated time. You also get access to other people who, I had the exact same problem. Here's how we fixed it. It's really cool. It's a really neat time. We love that. And then we're recording all of those and we're publishing those on our website as well, kind of building like a continually growing knowledge base of, you had this problem, chances are other people have had this problem as well. So now we'll make it available for new members. When they come in, they can go in there and it's like, how do I, I'm having a problem with stuttery video, so you do a search in there for stuttery video. And then here's 2 or 3 videos where we're dealing with that situation. And hopefully one of those will be the solution that you're looking for. Anyway, churchtrainingacademy.com/join. The membership is priceless. The benefits of the membership are priceless. And so we want you to get in now while you can. The membership price is going to be going up very soon. We have like 2 or 3 more courses that we're dropping in there, and then we're raising the membership up and then continuing to develop. So anyway, membership is open, churchtrainingacademy.com/join. We would love to have you. Guys, thank y'all for watching. I hope that everything that we've been talking about today has kind of opened your eyes, maybe dispelled some fear. I hope. Like Justin said, we don't want to fear monger. We don't want to the sky is falling and stuff. No, we're not trying to do that at all. We're just trying to say, look, here's some stuff that people are seeing out there. Is it going to affect us? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Is Facebook going to straighten a bunch of stuff out? I hope so. If they don't, it really doesn't matter because it's not our platform. We just kind of need to know what's going on as best we can and adapt and not put all of our eggs in one basket. So if this has been helpful, be sure to leave a comment and let us know. If you have questions, be sure to leave a comment and ask your questions. Guys, take the stuff that you've learned today and go change lives. And that's the show. Now, I am going to jump over to the comments, the questions, and see what you guys are doing. How is everybody? Let's see. Tommy, as content provider, use Facebook and YouTube to alert followers that you are on your website with your content. Have your chat room on your website. You know what, Tommy? That reminds me. Here's something that if you guys don't know about, with WordPress at least, I don't know about other web hosting platforms, frameworks. What is that? Ugh. One of the things that you can do, Facebook has a has basically a plugin for WordPress that is their commenting system, and it's pretty cool. You can basically take the Facebook commenting engine and make it be the commenting engine in your website. And so what happens is when someone comments on there, it actually posts to their timeline, this is what I'm commenting on, and here's what I said, that sort of thing. It's really cool. That's something to look at, and that's a great way to integrate Facebook with your website, and hopefully increase some traffic, because now this person has basically shared your um, your your video or your article or blog post or whatever with their audience, which is really cool. Let's see. A friend of mine asked Facebook to send everything they have about him. It's shocking. Hang on, Rudy. A friend of mine asked Facebook to send everything they have about him. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You know, you can download your data, right? The stuff that you have on there, you can download it. It's in your privacy settings or somewhere where you can basically download all your stuff. Okay, that's the stuff that you've uploaded. Okay, if you go in there, you can also look and see different areas about how they have what they have figured out about you by your browsing habits, your the things that you've liked, things that you've thumbs up, thumbs down, the things that you've commented on, things like that. It is kind of shocking, but guess what, guys? That is what a marketer does. That is what an advertising company does. Okay, if you don't think that Time Warner Cable or Spectrum or Charter or whoever you use doesn't have that same type of information on you, you're really naive. They do. And you want them to have that kind of information on you to a degree. You don't want them turning on the camera on your television and watching you watch TV. Of course not. That's an invasion of privacy. And, if somebody starts doing stuff like that, of course there's going to be lawsuits and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But what you do want is, if you watch Blue Bloods and DVR it on your television and save up the season, when the chances are you're a fan of Blue Bloods, right? So now Time Warner can buy an ad on Facebook, and if the people at this IP address, my house, okay, which is tied to my cable box, like Blue Bloods, then if the new season of Blue Bloods is coming out on Blu-ray, then they can buy an ad and say, hey, CBS, who puts it out, can say, hey, here you go. We have the new season of Blue Bloods is coming out. Would you like to buy it? Well, chances are pretty good I might, Or if I watch Blue Bloods and I watch NCIS and I watch Criminal Minds, they may be like, hey, this guy likes to watch these crime dramas. So we have a brand new crime drama coming out. Let's let him know about it. Okay, you want that kind of information. I don't want to see, an ad for a, this is what I use in my comments and stuff. I'm a dude. Okay, so they need to know that I'm a guy and that I like guy things. That way, they don't show me a Massengill ad, or a Tampax ad on my Facebook stream. Why would they want to spend money trying to advertise women's feminine hygiene to a guy who doesn't really need to know or buy anything, about women's hygiene? No, do it for my wife. She's a woman. You want her to know that information. You see what I'm saying? So yes, they do have this data, and you can logically extrapolate certain types of things. Okay, you can make reasonable guess on that, and that's okay. That allows them to target ads to you. Okay, you do want that. If you're searching Google for Disney vacations and checking Priceline.com for flights to Orlando and stuff, do you want to see an ad on an Alaskan cruise? No. Because you're looking for, here's a great way, get great flight tickets. Wonderful. $99 both ways to Alaska for an Alaskan cruise. Well, I'm not going to Alaska. I'm trying to go to Disney World. Think about it like that, guys, okay? It's okay. Are they anonymizing the data? That's the question. Let's see here. Like the good old saying goes, but don't put your eggs in one basket. That's right. Dawn says you have to, yeah, you do have to remember that we are the product. We are the product, which is why we don't pay for it. And it would be a totally different situation, y'all, if we were paying for it. If we, um, you know, it's it's kind of like, you know, if you're renting a movie theater on Sundays to do your church services, you really can't complain if there is a horror movie picture, you know, stand up ad, you know, for whatever, I don't know, Insidious, you know, something, The Grudge, Saw, whatever, in the lobby. Okay, you can't. You know, if they let you, you know, drape a sheet over it, great. But basically, when people walk by, they're going to see that as they're walking down to, you know, Theater 7, you know, for Bill and Ted's Excellent Church Service. Okay? It's the way it is. You're renting their space. Okay? So if you're renting their space. Now, if you bought the movie theater and have converted it to a church, the people who used to own it can't come in. You know, if you've leased the entire building, it used to be a movie theater, and you've leased the entire building, and it's now being renovated to be a church, um, the people who own it can't come in there and put up an ad for the Grudge movie at where they are now doing their movies at. They can't do that because it's yours. If you were paying for your space on Facebook, if you were paying for your brand page, if you were paying for your groups, if you were paying for your profile and stuff, then basically Facebook would be obligated under the terms of whatever agreement they would make for something like that to be hands off and basically provide good service to you, right? I'm paying for Time Warner Cable, so I expect that my screen is not all junkly and garbagey. I'm paying for 200 megabits downstream and 20 megabits upstream, so I expect to not be dropping frames when I am sending a 3 megabit stream during my live stream. You know, if I am not getting close to 20 on my thing, then I'm going to contact them and say, hey, you either give me some money back or you guys fix your service. Okay. Anyway, I think I've belabored all that point. Does anybody else have any questions? Anything? If you don't, then I am going to go. Let me go check over on YouTube and see if anybody's saying anything. Justin usually monitors the YouTube comments. We try to share that load here. So let me just jump over there, guys, and say hi to y'all. Let me see. Let me see. Come on. It's loading up. Denise says, great, valuable information. Thank you. Alfredo says that Facebook may change after these congressional hearings. Yeah, Alfredo, I think they might. I think they're probably going to do it. You know, somebody. This is just all aside now. Somebody was saying the other day. You know, if you listen to some of the testimony, Mark says, you know, hey, we would be, you know, we would be open to having discussions about regulation and stuff. And I was thinking, okay, why in the world would somebody want? And then one of the senators, I think, said something, or maybe it was a talk show I was listening to. But you know, one of the things that happens when people regulate, or when the government starts regulating things, is that the people who are going to be regulated, the reason that they're being regulated, those people usually are at a point where they can afford to spend tons of money lobbying and working with Congress and given senator or given congressman to try to craft the regulations so that it's in their favor. A lot of times we see where the regulation is written as such that that the law, you know, we saw it with the banking regulations that happened. The larger banks helped craft those regulations, and because of those regulations, they have the resources to make sure that they're in compliance, whereas a smaller bank in a small town may not have all these resources to financially do everything they need to do to be in compliance with all these regulations. I had a friend that has an air compressor company, and his air compressors exceed any kind of standards or whatever. But these, you know, the big European air compressor companies were working with our EPA or environmental or whatever. I don't remember what organization. I think it was EPA. Anyway, to come up with all these standards and all these testings and all this equipment that you would have to get to do all this testing to prove. In fact, actually, it was working out where you didn't even have metrics to prove. It was just you have to show that you did the test or something, and it was going to cost like $15 or $20 million for every manufacturer to like buy all this equipment to do all this regular. But the big guys could afford it, and it wasn't any big deal. And it ends up being something that is used to squelch competition. So when you hear Zuckerberg saying, "Yeah, we'd be open to doing all that sort of stuff," it's got to make you think. Is he going to do it in such a way? Are they going to try to do it in such a way so that basically they're trying to squeeze out any other kind of innovation? We see Facebook. If you look in the past, things that they've done. I'm not trying to be. Here's what's happened. Okay, in the past, I'm not trying to generate fear or do anything like that. Just here's stuff that we've seen in the past. Somebody comes up with a really cool technology, and Facebook or some of these other companies, okay, whether it's Google or Facebook or Twitter or whoever, okay, they buy that company and turn off all that stuff. So they have something that was either starting to compete, was a service that could be used in tandem, that was starting to get a little too big for its britches, so they bought it and shut it down. Okay, that looks like that almost looks antitrust. Being a monopoly is not a bad thing. Acting like a monopoly and trying to squelch competition, using your power to squelch competition, that's where the problems come in. Okay, and that's what we don't want. We want free and open, and when I say free, I don't necessarily mean free not to pay, just open, level playing field for everybody. Okay, I would love it if somebody came up with the next Facebook and could actually be a competitor in the same type of space that Facebook is. What would happen is both of them would strive to be the absolute best, offer the absolute best service possible in order to gain more members and more market share. That would be great, okay? Anyway, I've gone on long enough about all this sort of stuff. Know that we love you guys. We're thankful for you guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for engaging. And we really hope that this has been some good information for you guys. Anybody have any questions before I leave? Let's see here. Okay. See, Allison says, watching to see if Facebook is worth the time we put into it. So many people leaving Facebook in your circle. Allison, Facebook is worth the time that you put into it, just like any other type of platform. The long and the short of it is there's a ton of people on there. If you can, if we, all of us, can figure out what type of things Facebook likes, what kind of things the algorithm is happy with, and we start playing inside those parameters, then it can work out really good. Okay, all of you guys, if you don't follow Dennis Yu on Facebook, go follow Dennis Yu. He has a company called Blitz Metrics, and it's a Facebook marketing company. It's a marketing company, Facebook, LinkedIn, stuff like that. And Dennis has worked closely over the years with the Facebook team and people and all that. And he's, out of everybody out there, there's hucksters, there's shysters, there's, here's the killer pill, that will do all this sort of stuff. Dennis is very practical about all this, and very focused on this sort of stuff. He's got a lot of really good insights. I'll put a link here to his profile in the comments. Dennis Yu, guys, it's YU. Go follow Dennis Yu. In fact, I posted something. I think I posted on my personal profile the other day a video, an interview he did in on the big news organization in Germany, talking about all this sort of stuff. He has a lot of just a lot of insights that are worth looking at, and he knows what works on Facebook, and he knows how to work within those parameters. So take a look. He's a great resource. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you all. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And like I said earlier, take what you learned and go out there and change lives.